Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. I want to make sure that everyone is happy and healthy and you had a great weekend. I wanted to come on today, and I wasn't supposed to come on today. I had my teen tell me that I needed to rest and that I needed to take some time off. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to take time off. I don't know how to rest. And they were saying, well, we're not going to speak to you. And I said, great, don't talk to me then. They were like, try to make a bubble bath. And I was like, well, I thought you weren't talking to me. And I was going to do that. I was going to go ahead and rest. I wasn't going to do anything. I was going to take some time off. I was going to do a video on Saturday. I tried. And everything seemed off. Everything seemed like something was going on. Something was off. Something wasn't right. I tried doing the reading, but it felt more like it was a personal reading, so I didn't post it. I said, I'm going to sleep on it and see what would happen tomorrow. And that's when they were telling me, take a day off, take some time off, you need to relax, you need to just reset. And they told me not to make a video today at first, but then they said, you know what, you need to get on. You need to get on right now, and you need to talk about what happened over the weekend. Because I had forgotten about it. I had completely forgotten about what happened to me on Sunday. And it was like, poof, like everything came back to me again. I don't know if I'm going to read any of the cards today. Today might just be talking about the reset that happened over the weekend. And there have been many times when there have been resets. There have been many times when things have changed. Most people in the collective don't even notice it. Very few of us remember how it used to be, and then how when the reset happens, then we are in a part of that reset, and it's like, well, wait a minute, I thought XYZ happened. And I'll give you a good example. A lot of people talk about the game Monopoly. And some people remember Monopoly, the old man always had a monocle. And most people remember, no, he never had a monocle. Well, I remember both. I remember when he had the monocle and when he didn't have the monocle. And that was a reset right there. And most people will say he never had a monocle. These are the people that do not remember how it was before and were a part of that reset. Those of us that remember both are the ones that were meant to remember how it was and how it is now. And when there's a reset, usually little small things will ripple. So it could be for something big. And I'll give you another thing that happened at a reset with Nelson Mandela. And most of us that remember this reset will remember this. I remember Nelson Mandela dying when he was incarcerated. I remember it. I remember there being a funeral. I remember him being treated as a martyr. I remember there being like the casket that rolled in the street, kind of like with Princess Diana. He had all the fanfare, the pomp, and the pomp and circumstance, like if he was a king. Next day I wake up, Nelson Mandela's still alive. And of course, he went on to become the president. I remember both lives. I remember before and after the reset. And let me know in the comments if you're one of these people that remember before and after each reset. Well, I'll tell you that this weekend, and a lot of small resets have happened. I see when the resets happen. This weekend, there was a really big reset. Right now, I couldn't tell you what was the before and after, because I usually see them after the fact. But I saw the wave happen, and I usually do see the waves happen. I don't know if you've seen it on TV. There are different movies that talk about, the past and the future, people being sent from the future to the past. And when there are changes, it's almost like there's a wave that happens throughout the entire world. I always see that wave. That wave always passes through me. And I was outside and I was doing Qigong and I was playing with my dog on the deck when the wave came through. And I thought to myself, oh, there's a wave coming through. Didn't think anything of it because it happens to me all the time. I see when the waves happen, or I can feel when the waves happen and the changes happen. But this time, it threw me off a bit. And I was standing on the deck and I continued to do my Qigong, and it was almost as if I was floating in midair. And I had to hold on to the deck so I wouldn't like float away. So this was a really big reset, a really big change that happened. And it's something that is only going to continue to happen as the collective becomes more aware and wake, and the collective continues to wake, and as more continue to wake, we see what's going on in the world and we make those changes that have to be made. And I felt out of sorts, almost as if I didn't belong here. I mean, I feel like that from time to time anyway. I've been feeling like that since I was a child. But it felt like this new reset was something that was more out of my control than anything else. Almost as if I wasn't a part of the change, of doing the change. Or maybe I was a part of the change, but now I needed to reground myself in this new reality with the collective. Maybe some of you understand what I'm saying. I hope so. And let me know in the comments if you do understand what it is that I'm saying. So since that happened over this weekend, I've been feeling out of sorts, like I'm not grounded. I've been feeling, I can't sleep. So I haven't been able to sleep well the last couple of days. I feel clumsy. I almost have to, I've kind of like taking the dog out for a walk and I'm stumbling. Like I need to slow down because I feel like I'm going to fall forward and stumble over my feet. Also, there was, I think it was yesterday, because today's Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Today's Tuesday. Oh no, today's Wednesday. Holy crap. Today's Wednesday. So I felt like, on Monday, I walked up because I have like a little hill going up to the sidewalk out of my back doorway. And it was almost as if, not almost as if, the cars were floating to me. And it took me a minute to ground myself. And I'm like, oh, there's a glitch in the matrix. Okay, let me take a minute. Let me just breathe, start my mantras, start my affirmations, and ground myself for a minute before I walk. Because I would have totally stumbled and fallen over. Because it was things were floating. And not the trees, not the flowers, but like the cars were floating for me. People were walking by and they weren't touching the ground. Let me know if you've been experiencing this. And it's taken a couple of days for me to start feeling grounded. Today I feel a lot better. And as I said, I wasn't supposed to get on today. They told me either Thursday or Friday. But they said, no, you have to get on now. This is something urgent. I've noticed also that a lot of the people that I follow haven't been on for a couple of days. So I'm sure that they're experiencing the same thing. They're experiencing these upgrades and experiencing these time shift and alignments, and they're going through the same thing. So that's probably why they haven't been on. There's a lot of people that I follow, like Pamela Aaralyn, I have to look them up because I don't know all of their names by heart. I mean, I forget my kids' names sometimes. So, I follow Pamela, Jamie the Divine Seer, Alexandra Quinn, which is a phenomenal channeler and starseed. And the last thing he posted was actually 12 days ago. And it was all it was something he typed up. So he wasn't even on. And I had already been feeling some symptoms like that he was talking about, as well as with Pamela. She's posted some things, but it hasn't been like usual long. So I'm just thinking that this, whatever's happening, is just affecting all of us at the same time. Maybe a little different for some people than for others, but it feels like, and it seems like it was a huge change for me. It was something really big. So to me, it feels like everything's changed. Everything's on the table. Anything can happen. Anything can go either way. And there's a lot of uncertainty. And to me, it's refreshing. It's great. It's not where we know, okay, XYZ is going to happen and that's going to be it. No, we have affected a change so big that now everything is up in the air. Anything can happen, which is amazing. And the uncertainty, I know some people will probably think, oh man, oh my God, it's uncertain. Stop. Take a breath. Meditation, mantras, affirmations, rest, relax. Understand that this change has to happen. That each time more and more people in the collective wake up and understand what's at stake and understand what's going on, there will be more and more instances of these upgrades, of these changes that will happen. And maybe knowing what's coming up in the future will affect this change, because we can say, well, I don't like what's going to happen. I don't like what I think is going to go on. I heard this channeler and she spoke to someone in the future and I didn't like XYZ, so I think that we should change that. So every time something like this happens, we have the ability as a collective, whether we know it or not, to affect this change, to affect these upgrades. It's not just coming from the outside. Although coming from the outside really does help us, but it's coming from inside of us as well, because we don't want to see maybe the things that some seers or some channelers predict in the future. And remember, a lot of times we get to see this so that we can make a change and so that we can affect the future more in a positive way than in a negative. Especially when we're doing our positive affirmations, our positive mantras, and we're doing the work that we need to do for ourselves in the positive light. Remember what I spoke about the last reading. It's not, we're not going to do, our mantras have to be positive. We have to say and go out and speak out to the universe what we want, not what we don't want. The universe always says yes. So if you say to the universe, well, I don't want what's going to happen in the future, the universe says yes, it's going to happen. If you say, you know what, I want there to be a more positive future, I want to have a way to affect change, the universe says yes. And that's what I felt happened this weekend. There were more than enough of us in the collective doing our meditations, doing our positive affirmations, doing our Tai Chi, which is positive, our Qigong, going out and grounding in nature, that we were able to affect such a large wave of change. And now anything can happen. Now everything is up in the air, but it's more of a positive light than I've seen in a long time. And like I said, I haven't been able to sleep the last couple of days since it happened. And when that happens, it means there's something big that's going to happen. Not necessarily something negative, and not necessarily something positive. It could be either or. But remember, even if it was something that the collective would deem as negative, it would still be for a positive outcome. I don't know if that's something, I don't know if you guys get it or not, if you understand me or not. Put it in the comments if you do. If you don't, let me see. Let me talk to my team. Let me see what they want me to do next. If we are going to pull some cards for the collective, or if this short video is just going to be it, if they just wanted me to talk about what happened over the weekend. Let's see. Okay, so they want me to talk about 2 shows that they had me watch. They were having me watch 2 shows that had to do with people from the future coming into the past. And that's completely possible. There'll be a lot of people that'll tell you, oh, that could never happen. It's totally possible. And they had me watch 2 shows. One was Continuum. I've never watched these shows before. And with this one, the premise was a person's entire body consciousness, the entire thing was sent to the past to affect change. I mean, it wasn't sent to the past to affect change, really. It was kind of like an accident for this one person to go through. And when she went through, of course, her entire mission, as far as she was concerned, was to stop the people that did come through that in her eyes were affecting change in a negative light because they were terrorists in the future. Now, one thing I got from this show is that as the future changes, your timeline changes. The old timeline collapses, which means that you no longer the you that existed in that future no longer exists. But the only thing that she thought about was, I need to get back to my future. I need to get back to my future. Although in that show, we were shown time and time again that when a future is changed, your future ceases to exist. So I felt kind of like, well, is she a moron? Does she not understand? Like, how many times do you have to show her that that future now does not exist? That future collapsed in itself, and now a new future exists. So that means that a new her exists in that future. So why are you trying to get to a future that you should not be in because you no longer exist there? A different version of you exists there. And that was what she found out in the end, basically. She went back to the future, but obviously her future no longer existed. Therefore, her husband and her child, although they exist in the future, she does also. So she's basically now out of place like she was in the past. The same can be said for when this new reset happened. I kind of felt off, like, oh my God, am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to be a part of this? I kind of felt a little bit off. And I said again. I've said like what, 6 or 7 times? You guys got to count this stuff for me. So I stopped doing it. So it kind of felt the same, kind of like that, oh, now what do I do? And to me, it was, for her, I felt like you should have just stayed in the past and made a life. I mean, you had actually met someone. What was the point of going to the future? Just to see if your child still lived? You know he's alive, because in every season they showed this timeline collapsed. They actually told you your timeline collapsed. It no longer exists. Therefore, XYZ, there's nothing for you to go back to. That was the first one. The second one that they're having me watch, it's called Travelers. Never saw it before. I'm still like on this halfway through the show. Then this one, only the consciousness is sent back. And it's sent back to a person who's going to be dying anyway. So they'll send the person back a couple of seconds before they die so that whatever is going to happen to them doesn't happen to them, and they avoid that death. And they're trying to affect change for the future. And obviously, every time a team goes back and there's a change that happens, we get the same thing. The events of the future have now changed. So the main team, they remember the future one way, but the future teams that come through, they're like, well, no, that didn't happen. Well, no, well, this didn't happen. Well, no. And the future changes every time a team comes back to do something different. So they continue to make changes. They continue to make changes as they go. How will this one end? I don't know. I haven't gotten to the end yet. But again, both shows remind me of every time there's a reset, every time there's a wave, our future changes. So our future is ever changing. An old timeline can collapse and there'll be a new future us. But in here where we are right now, we're the same person as we go along, just with more upgrades. Now, could it be that when there's that update, that person from the future does come back to us and gives us some knowledge? Maybe. Maybe there may be people that do get that. And there may be people that when they get their upgrades and they get something new, something different, it was something from a new timeline versus the old timeline. I know it's a lot to wrap your head around. And some of you will believe this, some of you won't. It's perfectly okay. If you want to hit stop and say this lady's nuts, go ahead. I'm not for everyone. This isn't for everyone. Because as I said before with my channel, and I thank you for being on the channel and for listening to me and for watching me. It's something I've always wanted to do. And I love it because the name White Iris Intuitive. White Iris is my first and middle name translated from Spanish to English. And that's something I wanted to do for a long time. So I digress. But again, I thank you all for being here and for listening. If you're still here at 21:23, as I say this, thank you very, very much. So as I go through, I'm just excited. I'm excited what new upgrades we'll be getting, what's the new thing that's going to come through for me, for you, for all of us, from the collective. What other gifts can we be seeing soon? That's the way I see it. I see it in a positive light. I see everything coming through because I believe that we're love and we're light and that we are worthy and that we are deserving of all the good things that we want and of all the good things that we feel that we should have. And remember that abundance is our birthright. We look at scarcity and we think that we deserve scarcity because of things that we've been through. But remember that life happens for us and not to us. And everything that we've been through, we have agreed to before we came to this life. Now, granted, some of us may not have wanted to come through once we got into that womb. I was one of them. I was like, get me the F out of here. You guys tricked me. I don't want to be here. I have no intentions of being born. I kid you not. I went back and I remembered all of that. But I'm still here. There were the powers that be that didn't want me here. I had meningitis as a baby. And there's only two things that happen to babies with meningitis. They die or they become severely, severely impaired. Neither one happened to me. So there were many times when I could have been taken out and I wasn't. There was when I lived in New Jersey, I stopped at a stoplight and I know for a fact the timeline was changed. I know the car that came behind me actually hit me and I was hit by the car in front of me and I was supposed to be dead, but the timeline changed. It was a split second where I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what was going on. It was as if everything had stopped and been reset. And I remember listening to a channeler who said, which triggered for me to remember that. What if that car accident that almost happened actually did happen, but you were sent back and then it was stopped? That's exactly what happened. So if I wasn't supposed to be here And think about this yourselves. How many times were you somewhere where something was supposed to happen, but it didn't? Where something you should have been hurt worse than you were hurt? Where you should have been somewhere at a certain time, but you, for whatever reason, you weren't there. That was your reset. That was your time where they said, nope, send her back, reset. And this can happen as for an individual, and this can happen as a collective, which happened over the weekend. There were a lot of people that were affected by this reset. Even my brother was like, what is my problem? Why do I have butterfingers? I'm tripping all over myself. He kept dropping his phone. He dropped this, he dropped that. And I just chuckled and didn't say anything. I did tell him, oh, by the way, XYZ happened, but then I forgot about it. Like, because, I've seen it happen multiple times. But sitting on my couch as I was watching the latest show they wanted me to watch, it was like, get on. You need to get on. Hello. McFly. Hello. You need to get on. You need to tell everyone about this. This is urgent. This is important. You need to talk to them about what's going on. And for those of you that are experiencing this, whether you're having insomnia since the weekend, butterfingers, you don't feel grounded, you're feeling off, like, am I supposed to be here? What's going on? Yes, you are supposed to be here. Yes, you just had an upgrade. Yes, there was a timeline shift. All of this happened. Go out into nature, ground yourself, meditate. Go out to the park, Tai Chi, Qigong, affirmations. You don't have to sit like a yogi and meditate for hours at a time. I do my affirmations when I walk my dog. When I'm outside doing Qigong and following the videos, I meditate at the same time. I have different mantras that I say. And you don't have to sit for hours on end. But I can tell you that throughout my entire day, I always do different affirmations. I'll be washing dishes and saying a meditation or an affirmation. I'll be in the bathroom. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Whatever I'm doing, there's always an affirmation running on the back. I always have a meditation that I have on my phone, even if I'm watching TV, or I'll have 432 hertz playing or 720 or 528 hertz playing. I always have something on in the background because it's always beneficial for you, and it helps you with the symptoms of the upgrades and the symptoms when there's such a huge reset that's going on right now. And it's really exciting. So I don't want anyone to be upset or like, oh my God, what am I going to do? This is exciting. There are new times coming up. There are greater things that are going to be happening. Whether or not you take it as a negative or a positive is your perception. And it's also your perspective. So look at it in the positive. Continue to sit with the collective and continue to do your meditations and your affirmations so that we can keep turning our future into a more positive, more loving, more a future full of light, full of Christ consciousness, which is where we're in right now. Now, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull some cards, and I got these new cards over the week. Yesterday these came in, and these cards are called Inner Child Oracle by Amanda Lynn Aisling. Aisling. And whenever I buy cards like this, it's usually something that my guides are like, oh, put that one on your wish list, put that one here. And when it's time for me to get it, it's like I don't even have to think. It's click, 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 click. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm gonna pull just a couple of cards. Oh, that's a lot of cards. All right, so we actually got 3 cards, and they're telling me these are good enough. The first one is emotions are the reflection. Look for deeper meaning, which is great because there are a lot of people right now that could have heightened emotions and they don't understand why. Meditate. Go into yourself. Go into your stop and reflect and look at the deeper meaning of things for yourself. Meditate and do your affirmations. Breathe. When you do your breathing exercises, make sure that if you breathe in, count, and you breathe out, count. It should be the same. It shouldn't be 1, 2, 3, breathe out, and 8 breathing in. You should be at the same pace and bring yourself into a nice deep meditation so that you can look for the deeper meaning of what's going on. Then I have card, find your haven. There is a place of wonder waiting just for you. Again, when you're meditating, go out into nature. Nature is the best grounding instrument that we have, whether you want to walk out there barefoot or not. Sit in nature. Sit on a park bench. Take 5 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out. Do a meditation. Take your phone, turn on 432 hertz, whatever. Turn on some music. And do some affirmations, do some meditation for yourself, ground yourself, and flow with the rhythm. These cards are so appropriate, and I'll show them to you because they're all in nature. Get lost in the rhythm of the movement today. What was I saying? Tai Chi, Qigong. The movements are slow and repetitive, and it's like you're moving the air with you, and you can feel the air move as you move. So do these things to keep yourself. Here's the first one. Look at that. The scene in the ocean. And then this is a forest, like I was talking about before. And movement. Do these things to keep you centered while these changes are happening. I know that these upgrades are going to throw you off a little bit, but it's going to be okay. Just do the work that you need to do. Now, let's see. Let's see what my dragons have to say. If they have anything to say, my star dragons. I love my dragons. And hold on a second. I feel like my chair is too low. Where is this thing to bring up my chair? Okay, that's much better. My brother sometimes uses my chair and then he lowers it because he's taller. But I'm only 5 feet, so I can't, I do have short legs, but I like my chair up a little bit. Let's see. So they're telling me I might just have to pick the top card, and they want me to pick the bottom card. Oh, wow. So the first card is enlightenment, moving forward. What was I just saying? We have to move forward, and also the word movement that's in there. Start doing some of these exercises. Do your meditations. Even if you just go out for a walk. It doesn't even have to be a run or jogging. Go out for a walk so you can meditate and be in nature. The second one is miracle, making a difference. For those of you who don't know if you're making a difference, you are making a difference. You really are. So continue to do what you're doing so that we can continue to affect the change that needs to happen for the future that we want to have. Knowledge. Look at that. You have the knowledge. Your soul team, your soul tribe, your guides, your ancestors, they are giving you the knowledge. You're getting the knowledge and the downloads every time there's an upgrade. You're getting the knowledge, you're getting the downloads when you sleep. We do a lot of work when we sleep, believe it or not. I think I'm going to use this set of cards, and this is our shaman and their women. I love this deck. Even though it is very thick and it's very hard to use. Timing, one more cut, and then take the cards at the bottom. Shanaka, time to cross the threshold. Shakana, time to cross the threshold. Again, we're in a change. We have been upgraded. There's a timeline shift. So it's time for us to embrace the change, and it's time to cross that threshold if you haven't crossed it yet. Remember, there are plenty of people in 3D. They didn't feel anything. They probably were left behind in the old timeline. And that timeline's going to collapse. So they're going to have to either get with the program, or you're just never going to see that person again. That's how it works. And then the next card is Totemic Puma, Power Awakening. We're waking up. We have the power. So we have to make sure we use the knowledge and the power that we have wisely. We are here to affect change in a positive way, in a positive light. And number 14, Clan of the Wolf Heart. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So those of you that have been out there thinking, well, I'm just going to wait for, the aliens to come and help, or I'm just going to wait for so-and-so to come and help. We're the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones that are here to affect change. We are the ones that are here that get these timeline upgrades, that see when these changes happen. So we're the ones that are here to affect change and to do the work. Don't forget that. Should we take any more cards? Is there anything else that you want to tell us, that you want to say to us, or do I choose another deck of cards? They're saying divine masculine, and I'm not sure what they mean about the divine masculine at this point in time, but I pulled the animal deck. I want to see what animals may be with the collective, because we all have our spirits. I know that there are a lot of shaman that are a part of my team, and they take the when I first met them, one was a wolf, one was a wolf, one was an eagle, there was one that was like a dragon, and then as time went on, they turned into the person, that was behind the actual animal totem. So we always have guides that come to us first as an animal. So let's see what we can glean from the collective here. Oop. Well, this is too many cards. That's too many cards, guys. Come on. I can't. I saw that was like 10 cards. Card on the bottom. Oh, of course the card on the bottom, the wolf. And I was just talking about that. Wow, look at this. They still made me. This is how they're like, no, you gotta take them all. So the cards that actually flipped open, I put them back in the deck, and they told me to pick this card out. And when I flipped the deck over, all of these cards were flipped opposite side, and they weren't flipped the opposite side before. I think these were the cards. They must have been the cards that had flipped over. So we have the seahorse here. So we're looking at authenticity, equality. The goat, and the goat represents responsibility, reliability. The meekrat is responsibility. The deer, which is power. These cards are beautiful. The jaguar, which is release the old to bring in the new. The elephant, which is leadership. The owl, which is wisdom. So these are the guides that are with us right now. Wolverine, which is fierce. And there's a warrior on top of the Wolverine. So if that's you, if this If you've been seeing Wolverines, whether it's in your dreams, if you've been seeing them as a vision, or even in person, even if it's like Wolverine on TV, nothing is a coincidence. You are a warrior. The honeybee, which is reciprocity. I always say that word wrong. And honeybees are beautiful. And I said it again. Honeybees are beautiful. Honeybees are enlightened creatures. And if you are someone who has a lot of light in you, that is part of the collective of affecting changes and has the gifts and are working in the light in Christ consciousness, they will follow you around. My sister has these beautiful flowers in front of her house, and there's always honeybees there. And whenever I sit there, they always come around me. It's not like a swarm, but they fly around me all the time. We have the armadillo, which is groundness, which is what we were talking about. We need to ground in nature. The sea turtle, which is stability. So by grounding, we will become stable and we won't be feeling that, like we're teetering and we're off and we're floating like I've been feeling lately. And then we have the red fox, which is strategy. So remember what I've talked to you about, the strategies that you can use to ground yourself and to be stable. The gorilla, which is peace, again, meditation. And then we have the lynx, which is secrets. And I think with this one, a lot of secrets are being revealed and a lot more secrets will be revealed. And it's not something that you'll see in the news all the time because, mainstream media doesn't want secrets to be revealed all the time. And maybe it'll be out there, maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm only the messenger. And to me, the messenger isn't what's important. What's important is the message. The message could be coming through me or someone else. So if I wasn't here doing this message would be coming through someone else. And it still can be coming through someone else as the days go along, because I feel that the channelers that are here, the seers that are here, that are doing good, they will receive the same message. They might say the message differently, but that's one thing that I see, that when I look at a messenger, what is their message? And I will see that the message coincides with the other person that I have faith in, that I listen to as well. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, and this is one of I always talk about this deck. I love this. And this was a friend of mine that gave me these cards before I left from New Jersey to move here to Alabama. Love Alabama. A lot of ghosts, a lot of entities. And it's funny when I go out every day to see a lot of them, and some of them, aren't used to people seeing them. So a lot of times it's like, oh, you can see me. Some of them are used to it by now, and some of them aren't, and some of them, I've seen them once, and they're like, I'm good. I'm just here. I don't need your help, which is fine. Because when I was in Chicago for a weekend, oh my God, I couldn't sleep. They did not let me sleep at all. And I think it was 4 a.m. and I would still be up sending people into the light and telling them, look, you've been dead for a long time. It's time for you to go. Your ancestors, your people are waiting for you on the other side. That was exhausting. I don't know about it would be a long time before I go to Chicago again. Here, they really don't care. They're like, I'm here. I'm good. So they get it. Oh, 2 cards. So we have Ancestry, Legacy, Tradition. So what I was talking about, your ancestors, your soul team, they are working with you. And then we have guidance. So we have the Wayfarer, contemplation, search for truth, and inner guidance. They're trying to help you out. They're trying to help you out. Start doing the work so that you can get in alignment. I'm going to ask for one more card, please, from this deck. One more card from Here we go. Meadow. Success, blessings, and positivity. Success, blessings, and positivity. So we're going to be successful. It's going to be a positive outcome. And I believe in all of the blessings that are coming to us. We're going to have all the things that we are envisioning for our futures. There are any more cards that you want me to pull? Let me know now. Are there any more cards that you want me to pull? Yes. So this is another new deck. And this is a Repair, Evolution, and Growth Oracle cards. This is probably why they wanted me to get this one. Because the new ones that I did purchase have to do with growth and repair and inner child work. Heart, openly listen. Open your heart center, and listening to your intuition will always lead you in the right direction. I love it because the information's right there on the card. And I don't have to channel all of it. I can just read it to you. You now have the opportunity to let down the walls you created from past wounds and let your light shine from your heart to experience what the universe has always wanted for you. The universe wants us to succeed. They want us to have beautiful lives. They want us to have positive lives full of light and full of love. We are the ones that stop that from happening by having self-doubt, by thinking that we're not worthy, by thinking we're not good enough. You are good enough. You are worthy. You are deserving of everything that the universe has for you. So start thinking that way. 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards. Oh. Inflexible change. So again, change. You or the person involved are set in ways that are impeding your growth. Be more open-minded, and see the other person's point of view to expand your perspective. In a healthy, oftentimes, being too rigid masks the problem that causes imbalance and unrest. Flexibility is needed to create flow. So that's probably something a lot of people are going through right now. And that's a big 3D thing, where instead of listening to the other person's point of view, you're not listening to listen. You're listening to react, to respond, where it should just be listen to the other person, whether you agree with them or not. Listen to them, to what they have to say. They're not going to change your mind, and that's okay. And that's what I know. I know when I tell people certain things, I'm not going to change their mind. But I hope that they at least listen, because that to me tells me that they have an open mind and an open heart. And that's all I can ask for. Okay, so they told me only take the bottom card, which is family dynamic and reconcile. So a lot of you in the collective are probably going through this because you're the odd man out and your family doesn't get you, your family doesn't understand you. Well, guess what, people? That's always going to be the case. It's hard to grow up in a family that doesn't get you when you have all of these gifts and all of these things happening. And you're the person that says, oh, so-and-so is going to die when you're 4 or 5 or 6 years old. And they're looking at you like you're nuts until they get the call a couple of hours later that, oh yeah, so-and-so died. The most recent time for me, just a little story, was I went to the Dominican Republic last year. And when I got to my mother's house, I said to her, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm here for a funeral. Every single thing I packed was black and white. I didn't have any colors. I had a couple of gray things, maybe 1 or 2 brown things, but everything I packed was black or white. And 2 days later, I kid you not, my great uncle died. And he was a really nice person. Sad to see him go, but it was his time to go. And I understood that. But I knew that I was there because someone was going to die. I mean, my dad, you would think that he's heard this a million times. Oh, come on. What do you mean you're here for a funeral? And I'm like, I'm here for a funeral. I don't know who's going to die. I don't have the information of who, but, and I think At that point in time, it could have been a toss-up between 3 or 4 different people, which is probably why I didn't know exactly who it was, because I was there to see how my dad was doing. He's not doing very well. My grandmother's not doing well, very well. I have a cousin or two that aren't doing very well, but he was the one that passed away. So you would think that at this point in time, they would get used to it by now, but they don't. And that's something that you have to be okay with. They're probably never going to get used to it. My mom is used to it. My mom's like, well, okay, no problem. I'll get myself ready. She had an outfit ready for it. But my dad was still like, knock you on the head. It's like, hello, McFly. Do you not know me? It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. You're going to be the odd man out. Claim it. It's you. It's yours. So your family is requiring time to heal issues that have created a wedge or unrest. We all need support as we move forward, and having an open, loving family unit is essential. So this is something that you can either decide it is what it is and move forward, or like some people, there have been some people in my family that I've had to snip, snip, snip and keep out of my life. Just because someone is a part of your family doesn't mean that they have the best for you, the best thoughts for you, that they love you, that they want to see you succeed. There are a lot of people, friends or family, that are not good people, that do not want to see you succeed. Okay? All right. Any more cards or... 3 cards. Okay, let's try to get 3 cards from this one. 3 cards. Then we take the bottom card. Feminine energy, yin. Intuitive, nurturing, creative, and wounded, insecure victim. So if you're in this feminine energy, this is who you are. Yes, you're creative, you're nurturing, you're intuitive, but are you wounded? Are you insecure? Are you in this victim mentality? That's a 3D concept, and there are a lot of people that are in there. You need to get out of that if you're looking to stay with the collective. Remember that life happens for us and not to us. So everything that has happened in our life, it's something that we have agreed to before we were born. You need to move past that. And I know some of you will say, but you don't understand what that person did to me. Well, that happened to you 30 years ago. I mean, come on. It's been 30 years and you're still in the victim mentality. You're still allowing that person to have control over your life, because that's what all a victim mentality is. You're allowing the person that did something to you have control over your life. So when are you going to have control over your life? I think if you think of it that way, maybe it'll be easier for you to let go of it. Self-care. Law of energy. Cleanse, recharge. You need to have time alone and you need to retreat. This is the same thing they were telling me this whole week. You need to recharge. You need self-care. You need to take care of yourself. You need to do better. I took a salt bath on Sunday night and they're like, that was good, but how about bubbles next time? And I'm like, I thought you weren't talking to me because I needed to relax and recharge. So they're pretty funny. My team is pretty funny, but they're no nonsense. They say it like it is. They're rude sometimes, especially when I am doing a reading and the person just doesn't get it. They're like, look, you're wasting your time. And I'll let the person know, look, my team says I'm wasting my time with you. I don't know what else to tell you. This is what's going on. This is how it is. I can't keep repeating myself. That's a person with victim mentality. But what if? Well, what if he is cheating on you? What are you going to do about it? I mean, you're still there. You know he's doing it. Obviously, you want to be in that relationship and want to have him cheating on you. Get over it. Or do what you need to do and take the steps to move on. It's one or the other. You can't, if you want to be in limbo, I can't help you. I can't. And that's coming straight from them. So control, sabotage, conflicts, mood swings, trust issues, manipulation, and patterns. Get away from these people. So there's someone in your collective that might be doing this. This could be a family, a friend. It could even be a spouse. If you're going through this, and that's probably why they spewed the information out through me that they just spewed out, you know it's happening. What are you going to do about it? Either you like it because you're still in it, and you're still, but what if, but what if, but what if? Person's not going to change. The person's not going to get better. The person's going to get worse. I'll give you a little bit of information. Before I moved here to Alabama, I was in a situation where I thought I was living with someone that had my back. I thought I had already moved out of my home. We had sold our home before I started. We decided to get divorced because we didn't want to have anything to split. So I went to live with a family member. And again, I thought I had someone that had my back. I thought I was with someone that was really looking out for me, really wanted to help me, was on my side. And I ignored the red flags. And I was like, well, that can't be happening. And I ignored my intuition. And I was like, well, that can't be happening. Well, this person can't be doing that. Well, this person can't be doing that to me, to find out that it was worse than I thought. And it's sad because the reason why I was there was because this person was supposed to change dramatically from their 3D self. Well, they're more in a 2D self. They're lower than 3D, they're 2D, to the fifth dimension, to a higher self, and to be more self-aware and to get out of that victim mentality. But this person chose to double down on their victim mentality, on their victimhood, and to do things that I honestly would never have dreamed that this person would do these things to me. And it was really sad to watch. It was really sad to watch everything that the person did. It was sad to watch everything that had happened. Her entire soul team abandoned this person. So this person thinks that they're dealing with their soul team. They're not. They're dealing with a legion of demons that they have allowed to enter their space. And they're now being tricked into believing that their soul team's with them when they're not. You know, there was one day where it was such a scene that I literally saw my grandfather walk away from this person and say, I'm done. And when he walked away, the entire soul team walked away with him. And he was embarrassed for what was going on and could not believe it. But he said, that's it. Do not help this person. Do not worry about this person at all. This person is no longer a part of the soul tribe, of the soul team. And that person's going to have to come back over and over again until they get it right, which is sad for that person. And I released that person with love and light. I released that person with love and light and understanding, because you know what? It's not going to be my karma. It's that karma. And that person accumulated an amount of karma at this point in time for what they did that is just, I don't know how they're going to get out of it. And it's not my job to know, and it's not my job to judge, and it's not my job to be there for that person anymore. They told me to cease all contact, and that's exactly what I did. And the only reason why I tell you this story, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are on the fence that are thinking, well, that person's not doing this to me. This person's not doing this to me. They are. Listen to your intuition. Listen to what your intuition is saying. Listen to your soul team. That is happening. You need to cut the cord and move on. That's one card. Fulfillment, wish. Wish fulfillment, success, achievements, and happy outcome. That's what's going to happen when you cut that person out of your life. Everything that's going wrong right now is because this person does not want you to move on. They don't want you to have success. They don't want you to have the things that you're supposed to have that the universe is sending to you. And that's sad, because that's a really evil person, a very evil, unloving person. Okay. Is there anything else for the collective, guys? Anything else that you want to say? Anything else? They just want you guys to move on, and they want you to take the time to ground and take the time to do the things that you need to do so that you can receive the upgrades and be part of the update that just happened, the time shift. This video will come to you when you're ready. So if at this time on June, look at that. Maybe something's going to happen in June that I said June of next year of 2025. You never know. So right now, September 25th at 1:50 p.m., if you are seeing this in the next couple of days, you're part of that collective, you're part of that stream. If you're not, you will see this when you awaken, when it's time for you to feel that upgrade. And I hope that's more sooner than later. And I hope that you receive all of the things that the universe has for you, because the universe has a plethora of abundance and gifts for us. We just have to be there and have to understand that we are worthy and deserving, and we have to accept the things that we know that belongs to us as our birthright, as abundance is our birthright. Now, I did want to say there was an affirmation that I gave you guys. I remember it was the first video, the second one, and I said that it was from another channeler, and it was actually from Bob Proctor. And I listened to his affirmations and his affirmations all the time, and I just got the names wrong. And I just want to give you this affirmation one more time. And remember that you can change the word money to whatever else that you want to change it to. I am happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities and from multiple sources on a continuous basis. And I repeat this over and over again. And sometimes I'll change money to love. Sometimes I'll change money to light, to truth. But this is an affirmation that you can change to whatever you'd like to. And you can say it over and over again. And Bob Proctor, there is a YouTube channel for him. And there's a lot of affirmations, a lot of information that he has from all of his, like, I don't know if he used to have maybe maybe he used to have talks and things like that. There were a lot of talks that he used to do. So you'll see a lot of his talks uploaded into YouTube and a lot of his affirmations as well. I had to stop there for a minute to get the right word, because when I'm channeling, my words don't come through properly when I'm listening to them. And it's like, okay, guys, look, give me a minute because I need to find the right word. So this is something that you can change at any time to fit your needs. But this is Bob Proctor, and there is a YouTube channel, so I suggest you look it up. At this time, remember, the upgrades are happening, changes are coming, and it's up to you whether or not you're going to be a part of it. And this reading can come to you at any time. It's going to be when you are ready. When you are ready, you will see it. So again, thank you for listening to me. I know we're an hour and 2 minutes and, well, an hour and 3 minutes now. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for coming to my channel and for listening to me. Also, thank you for subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. So it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. So just hit that subscribe button, and every time there's a new video, you'll get to know about it. And in the description box below, you'll have not only all of the information for myself and my channel. Donations are accepted. I do accept donations via, I don't use PayPal, but I do use Cash App, and I do use Venmo, and the information is there. Also, my email is there if you're looking to have a personal reading. The prices are there. Personal readings are $100. And if you're looking to have energy, any type of healing, those are $75. I also have in the description box below information on all of the people that I watch, that I respect, that I know are giving us the right information: astrologers, seers, and channelers. So again, I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me and for being a part of my channel, and also for being a part of the collective. I hope that you see this in light and in love, that you're happy, and that everything is turning out exactly the way your positive mind is hoping. Love you very much. And thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye now.